Welcome back to Raccoon Justice, where justice done the Raccoon way is the only way to do justice. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Please remember to give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. And if you are new, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the Magic Robin Hood resorts and related resorts and hotels. Okay, because as we know, recently they've been gifting to a few influencers, most notably the Inghams, but they've also been gifting a lot to other influencers as well, much smaller ones, but also ones that really need to do their research a bit more. So there is an issue with this particular resort, it seems, with a safety issue. Okay, there's been a number of incidences over the last few years which have made media headlines, and we're going to go through them. We're going to go through them with you right now. See what you think, because I think it's feeling a little bit like, would you really want to take your family there sort of vibes. The Benidorm Hotel, where an 8-year-old British lad almost drowned, claimed it took them 20 minutes to find his parents after fishing him from the water. Blair Scott's dad, Kevin, rubbished the claims and said he has several witnesses to prove his partner was at the Magic Robin Hood Resort pool at the time. He said Blair is on a ventilator because his lungs have been weakened by pneumonia, and claimed the hotel admitted to there being a blind spot where he fell in the water. I'm contacting all the witnesses. There are several statements online as to what the truth is. My partner was there and lots of people witnessed it. Blair, who was holidaying with Kevin and mum and stepmum Ashley Moore, was spotted lying motionless in the water on Sunday. Former British soldier Gareth McAllister and an unnamed Spanish fireman were hailed as heroes for rescuing the young boy. They performed CPR until an emergency helicopter arrived to fly him to hospital, where he was reportedly found to be suffering from pneumonia. Today, the hotel issued a detailed statement claiming the boy's parents were nowhere to be found when he was pulled from the pool. It said, "We tried to locate parents, legal representatives, or persons responsible for the child who could not be found in the pool or in the vicinity." So basically, this young boy nearly drowned, and the hotel tried to pass the blame on to the parents for not being around on Benidorm Waterslide. This was in June 2018, so again, very recent. A mum nearly lost her leg after catching a grim flesh-eating bug on a slide at a water park in Benidorm. Helen Priestley was left with gaping wounds in her leg after hitting her leg on a chute, which later became infected. The mum of one had 2 emergency ops, with doctors warning her family to prepare for the worst. Helen has taken legal action after her ordeal while on a Jet2 holiday at the 4-star Magic Tropical Splash Resort. She claims the slide is a death trap and warned it's only a matter of time before someone is seriously injured on the slide. After recovering at home, Helen said she wants to see the water slide closed. "I was lucky to survive, but the next person might not be," she said. My life has been changed forever. I was a real outdoors person, and now I can't do as much as I used to. But it was during the family's second visit to the water park that Helen got injured. I followed all the lifeguard's safety instructions, she said. I heard later that someone had broken their leg on the slide an hour earlier. If I'd known that, I would never have risked it. The 42-year-old recalled the water current was really strong as she plunged down the white tornado bowl chute. It takes you round a plug hole and slammed me into the opening, she said. The gap to go through wasn't really big enough to get through easily. I was in absolute agony. Lifeguards helped Helen out of the water, and it was then she realised how serious her injury was. I had a massive hole in my leg, like an indent, she said. I nearly passed out from the shock. She was taken to a private clinic where x-rays were taken and she was put on a drip and had her wounds bandaged. Taker in Spanish nature park. Reason unclear. An animal caretaker has been found dead in a nature park in the southern Spanish town of Benidorm after she was attacked by a tiger for reasons that remain unclear. The deadly attack occurred at 5 p.m. Saturday when the Red Cross received a call from police informing them that a woman had been attacked by the tiger in his cage. Ambulances rushed to the scene, but the body of the caretaker was found shortly after workers at the Terra Natura di Benidorm Nature Park were able to anesthetize the feline. The police are investigating the death. This is from 2019. British teen headbutted by ram at Terra Natura as parent complains petting zoo has no supervision. A British teenager has been headbutted by a ram at the Terra Natura Zoo in Benidorm, suffering a shock that left her up all night vomiting. The girl, 16, said the male mouflon charged her after the corn kernels she had purchased ran out. She was left with a hefty swelling on her leg and had to go to the zoo's medical centre for treatment. There was absolutely no one supervising the animals, the girl's mum, Jennifer Aitchison, told the Olive Press. Imagine if my daughter had been a toddler. As Blaze forces them to flee luxury Spanish resort with their 4 young children, only to discover fire alarms didn't work before being made to sleep on sun lounges. This is 2019. A British family were left distraught and hundreds of pounds out of pocket after their dream holiday was shattered by a fire. Aaron Hewlett, 28, and his family included 4 young children were staying at the Magic Tropical Splash in Benidorm on a Jet2 holiday when their room filled with smoke. They would spend the next day moving between sun lounges, wearing towels for blankets, to a doctor's surgery as their holiday was quickly taken off course. Mr. Hewlett and his wife had just put their children aged 9, 7, 3 and 1 to bed when their room began to fill with smoke coming from below. They said that no alarm had been immediately raised, but they decided to take the safe option and evacuate down the stairs. It was here, Mr. Hewlett said, that he attempted to warn other guests by activating the fire alarm on his floor, but when he knocked in the red button, nothing happened. Benidorm's fire brigade were called to the resort late on May the 14th and worked to put out the blaze as hotel guests waited outside. My 4 children were made to sleep on a sun lounger for 4.5 hours and not one member of staff came to check if any of us were okay, said Mr. Hewlett. His 3 daughters all had coughs as a result of smoke from the fire and having to wait outside, and were recommended to visit a doctor by Jet2 rep. This is a TripAdvisor review from somebody who stayed at the hotel during the period of the fire. And they had a couple of negative things to say. Drinks were good, but the food was boring, repetitive, and seemed to be covered in flies. Second night into our holiday, we witnessed a fire in one of the cabins, which spread to a few of the surrounding cabins. Was quite disturbing to see several families lose all of their belongings and have their holiday come to a sudden end. I felt like the rest of us staying in the resort were left in the dark about the cause of the fire. It would have been nice to have had something like a letter posted into our cabin explaining the cause of the fire and what they've done to prevent it from happening again in the future. Made me feel very anxious for the rest of the holiday in case it happened to me and my family. I would hate to imagine what would have happened if the fire started at night and not in broad daylight where it was easily noticeable. So that was basically their review, and this was their response from the hotel. Thank you for visiting Magic Robin Hood and for spending your time and leaving your review. We carefully take your comments to evaluate possible improvements. Our resort has 2 buffet restaurants and 4 themed restaurants. We have a large number of activities on the service app of all our clients: mini golf, archery, table football, laser tag, multi-adventure zone, medieval dinner show, spa, skate park. We are number 1 in TripAdvisor thanks to all these features. So basically their response to the fire is to list all the features and the attractions at the resort, which seems a bit inappropriate. So we've got all these incidences which, vary from severity. Actually, most of them are quite severe, and they've all made the headlines. They've all been in the media. And then we've got all these influencers who are recommending you go to them. They've been gifted free trips, such as these lovely people here. They are jumping at the opportunity to get free trips. In some cases, they're gloating that they've been gifted free trips. But what I would say is that they have a responsibility to check out who they are being asked to recommend to their followers. They should do their due diligence and not just jump at the chance to go on a free trip because it's free. If they are being asked to recommend it to people, then they really should be looking at what are they recommending. It's like, for instance, okay, and not everybody has morals in the influencer world, but some people say, I wouldn't recommend a product unless I truly believed in it. Whether or not that is the truth necessarily, but that's what they say. Now, why is it any different for a hotel or a resort or a holiday? Just because it's gifted doesn't necessarily mean that you have to review it as positive because it was free. You don't have to go on the trip because it was free if you don't believe in it. And I think that we talk a lot about due diligence in the sense of companies should be looking to see who they gift, but maybe conversely, these influencers should be looking at who they are accepting gifts from. That is a huge issue, and you would not be recommending a product which is going to be harmful. So why recommend a holiday which is also a product that may be harmful? In any case, I hope that the Magic Robin Hood Resort have booked their ideas up after their number of incidents over the last few years, but given their lack of caring over certain allegations, we won't hold out too much hope on that. So I'll leave you all with that. Please remember to have a lovely day. Thank you to the person who did so much research, which helped so much in making this video. It's always appreciated. Please give this video a massive thumbs up, comment everything you want to comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Take care and bye bye.